Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I was not planning on doing a video today, but here I am because Metatron made it very clear that this needed to happen right now, right away. He always has a reason for the timing of things. Today's video is going to be on energetic, psychic, spiritual protections, specifically using crystals. Um, he has had the idea for this video in my mind since I started YouTube about 5 months ago. He has placed this in my mind, but for whatever reason, it just never seemed important enough for me to actually put it on a video. Well, last night he made it very clear to me that this needed to happen right now. So here I am. I have 3 other videos out on personal protection. So 3 videos, well, 2 of them that are talking about activities that you can do to help your own energy by removing entities, by clearing low vibrational energy, by cutting cords, all kinds of things, by cloaking yourself, by putting protective spheres around you. So I have 2 videos that talk about those, and a third video that shows you how I put all of those together into a process for myself that I use multiple times a day. So those are already out there. This video is only going to be talking about crystals as a protective agent. Um, I don't, this is all going to be channeled. This is all coming to you live from Metatron because I normally write down notes, I write down speaking points, I do all these things before video. Nope. He was like, sit down and turn your video on and we're going to do this. So this is what we're doing. Um, so let's talk about crystals. So I'm going to talk about 2 different types of protection using crystals. So we're going to be talking about demonic energies and how to protect against those using crystals. And we're going to talk about extraterrestrial energies that are not here in our best interests. So most extraterrestrials are absolutely lovely individuals who are here to assist us with our ascension. There are multiple groups and some rogue individuals who are here to try to keep us lower. So we're going to talk about protections against those individuals. First, though, let's talk about demonic. That's more of the vanilla flavor of protections. So there are lots of different crystals that you can use that are intended to protect against demonic energies or low vibrational energies. I'm going to talk about some of Metatron's favorites. And I'm also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you not one, I'm going to show you 2 crystal grids. I'm going to show you my personal crystal grids that I use for protection for myself, for my household, and I also project this crystal grid out to protect other groups of individuals with. So we'll talk about that. But right now, let's just talk about individual crystals. So individual crystals for protection against demons. Metatron's favorites that he has indicated to me personally: black tourmaline. I'll give you the short list and then I'll get into them. Black tourmaline, celestite, and Staurolite, or it's also called fairy cross. So let's talk about those 3 for a second. So black tourmaline, this is the most lovely, crucial, important, basic protection crystal for you to have in your arsenal. This is, for me, I've talked about this before on another video, but I use this black tourmaline for everything. I have, I don't know, probably 7 of these, not joking. So use them. I put them in my luggage when I travel. I put them on my bedside when I'm in a hotel room. I have one in every corner of my home. So there's 4 corners in my home. I have one of these in each corner. Um, I have one that's permanently in my vehicle. So you can put one in your purse. This one's kind of heavy, so I wouldn't put this one in my purse, but a smaller one would be great. They come in lots of different styles. This is a polished palm stone, hence it's, fits in my palm. When they're raw, they're more elongated and more fibrous looking, but they're a very hard crystal. But if you want to throw one in your purse, I would get one that's polished, which is totally fine. It's not going to reduce its effectiveness to have it in a different form. Um, in general, crystals are more effective when they are in certain shapes. So in general, a sphere, um, a cube, a pyramid, and there's lots of other shapes that are harder to locate, icosahedrons, dodecahedrons, you know, 12 pointed stars, 20 pointed stars, um, Merkabas. So those are harder to find, but most everyone can find a crystal in a sphere shape, and a lot of times in a pyramid or a cube shape as well. So I started putting these in the 4 corners of my house long before I could channel, long before long before anything with talking with angels, with the spiritual world, before I was awake whatsoever. I had moved into a new place and we were having, poltergeist activity. Um, we were having things come off the walls. I had a picture. I was sitting down in the middle of the room. I had a picture on the wall next to me fly off the wall towards me and just break in front of me, and just the glass shards were everywhere. And I didn't get hurt at all, but wow, I sure could have. And yeah, I'm being told right now, I'm being shown Michael with his wings around me so that the glass did not fly and hit me. Thank you. I didn't know you did that. Um, but so we had activity there, and then there was also, I would have like bouts of rage, like things were just off about this place. So we didn't know much of anything about anything at that time, my husband and I, but we got 4 of these and put one in each corner of the house as exactly as we could. We just put them on the floor, under a bed, wherever the corner of the house was, and the activity stopped. It wasn't perfect, but that scary level of activity stopped. So these are effective, 100%. Um, so black tourmaline, let me show you the other ones. So Celestite is the other one that Metatron pointed out to me. So Celestite is a just breathtaking crystal that you can purchase. They do tend to be expensive, not gonna lie, and they're very heavy. And they're normally used, like for me, when I purchased them, one, it was beautiful, but two, I was purchasing them because they are really good at connecting you with celestial energies. So this is really good to help you communicate with angels or with higher vibrational beings. So that's why I was getting these, but Metatron was pointing out, hey, this is really a protective stone as well. And these come in many different forms. So you can find these, I don't know, you can find these like a polished rock style, um, or you can find them like this. So this is me interjecting my expert opinion. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I know way too much about crystals. Um, Metatron says what I'm telling you is true, so it's fine. So don't buy Celestite in a form like this. Don't do it. It's not as effective and it's not as pretty. There, I said my piece. Get it in a form like this, because whenever a crystal is attached to its matrix, which is the rock that it grows off of, whenever a crystal is attached to the ugly rock that it grew off of, it is more powerful. I do not know why, but it is factual information. So if you can get a cluster versus getting something that's polished and shiny and like this, do it. It is more expensive. So this is Celestite. The third one, Staurolite or Fairy Cross. So this is a nice example. They don't always come out this nice. So this, and you can't really see it, but this white is the matrix or the rock that this crystal has grown on. The darker part is the actual Staurolite or fairy cross that we're talking about. So sometimes they sell these without this matrix. So again, if you can get it with the matrix, that's even better. And they don't always grow perfectly like a cross, but this is the intention of the crystal, is to grow in this phenomenal pattern. So this is a very famous like amulet or protective stone that has been used throughout generations. Priests or spiritual workers have had these on necklaces and kept these in their pockets to help protect them when going out and doing their work. So these are very effective. And okay, and I'm going to say what I'm being told. I'm being told that the shape, the cross, is relevant. I'm being told that this is tied into, this is so weird. This is somehow tied into Jesus Christ energy, which, okay, kind of makes sense, right? He died on the cross, but I'm not sure what the connection is beyond that. But this is what he's telling me. Is there something relevant to cross and Jesus Christ energy? So there is something there about that. Okay. If he tells me more, I'll tell you guys. So these are the three that he has recommended for protection against demons. So a lot of people, they buy it and they put it somewhere, they keep it on themselves. If you are going to have a crystal just by itself, it is the most effective if you're wearing it. So if it's jewelry or if you're putting it in your pocket, you can't really put a celestite cluster in your pocket. And I don't even think I would put this guy in my pocket because I'd be worried that I would like chip away the matrix, to be honest. It's hard, but I wouldn't want to damage it either. Um, the most effective way to use crystals, because back in the day, they, like I said, they wore it, they put it in their pockets. Well, now we know better. Now we have access to a lot more information, and the earth is ascending, and people are communicating with angels and their guides, and we're getting a lot better information now than 800 years ago. So the best way to use crystals for any purpose ever is always on a crystal grid. Always on a crystal grid. And not just any crystal grid, not just any piece of fabric. Using a crystal grid with a certain 2D shape on it is going to take this crystal grid to the next level. That's why the crystal grids that I show all of you, they always have some kind of 2D geometric shaping on there that's extremely magical in a 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever D um, dimension. So I use a lot of Metatron's cube because that one is just like the classic powerful grid to use. Um, Today, and actually, I don't even have the one that I'm using today. I don't even think that is a. I'll have to take a look at it. It's not a Metatron's cube that I'm using on the demonic one. I actually have a special galactic portal shape that I'm using on the extraterrestrial grid, so that's kind of exciting. But anyways, so back to grids. So putting it on a grid, using gosh, I'll have to list these in the description because I don't have these memorized, but they have specific names like I think it's seed of life and flower of life and torus, and there's specific geometric shapes that are known to be very powerful. So I'll put that in the description because I don't have that right off the top of my head for you, and I didn't make any notes for this. So use a grid like that. Metatron has indicated that when you are setting up a crystal grid, it is the most effective to make it balanced. So you don't, if you have, you know, four of a certain crystal, you would want to put them evenly spaced apart from each other. You wouldn't want to put all four in one corner. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure it's balanced because that makes it more effective as well. Um, so I think I'll stop there on the crystals because the next thing I really need to show you is how I have my crystal grid set up, what I'm using on there, and just why it's effective. Before I show you that, let me talk to you real briefly about crystals that I use for my extraterrestrial protection. So the three famous groups of extraterrestrials that tend to not want Earth to ascend are the reptilians, the draconians, and the cyborgs. I have come across many other rogue individuals who have not been a fan of that, but those are the three main groups that are running things. So you'll tend to interact with reptilians and draconians who have incarnated here on Earth. They are most all of them have no idea who they are. It's just like you don't know that you incarnated as that you're originally a blueprinter. You don't know that you're originally a Lyran or a Pleiadian or an Arcturian. You know, you don't think that when you come here and you're born. You don't remember that. They don't remember that they're a reptilian or a draconian, right? So some of us come here and we incarnate here with the purpose of bringing light to the earth and the purpose of trying to help it ascend. And we figure out that purpose as we move along because we're drawn to it. Well, in the same way, they don't have to know who they are to be drawn to their purpose. Their purpose is to maintain the status quo. Their purpose is to separate and divide. Their purpose is to cause division, to pursue greed, to pursue power, pursue money, pursue things, and to make others want to pursue those as well. So, so that's the dark and the light for you, right? So we're all here, we're all living our lives, and some people are working towards one purpose and other people are working towards another. And it is a very dualistic or binary kind of way of thinking about things, dark versus light. But that's part of our experience here is to experience separation and experience duality, right? So this is what we're here for. Um, so there are lots of crystals that are effective against these groups individually. I tend to want to use the crystals that are effective against all three of those groups just to be more effective, save time, save money. So one of the totally having an attack right now, by the way. Yeah, because I'm talking about them. So this is fine. So I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm going to ask Ashtar and Michael and Metatron to please come clear this as best they can and protect me as best they can. And now I'm just going to keep moving on with this. So one of the crystals that is effective against all three of those groups and is really commonplace and easy to find and not insanely expensive is lapis lazuli. Um, so lapis lazuli. So I have two different examples for you. They're kind of these are not typical examples, either one of them, but sorry, so sorry. so so this one is a 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is a 12-point star. And so 12-point stars are generally more effective. This one, though, this one's kind of an exception because this one is not carved from a single piece of stone, which is how it becomes more effective, is carving it from a single piece of stone. This one is like a bunch of it's like a bunch of little skinny pyramids that somebody glued onto a center shape in here. So this one's really pretty and fun, but it's probably only as, yeah, it's only as effective as, I don't know, as any other shape. This one is from a single shape. This one is a 20 pointed star. These points are really subtle. I know it's hard to see. These points are really subtle, really tiny little points, but it's made from one stone. So this one is insanely effective. So it's crazy, right? Because you're like, hey, this one's pretty. This one should be more effective. Nope, it's this guy. Um, so 20 points, so more points, and it's from one stone. So this one's highly effective. So that's why I got this one. Um, Other stones that are effective against all three that I use are opal. I just happen to collect Ethiopian opal. Before I had my spiritual awakening, I was, and I still am, obsessed with gemstones. And I collected gemstones and I went through training so that I forget even what my certification is called, but I went through like the GIA to get certified to work in jewelry stores. They train you on different types of metals and just different attributes of diamonds and colored gemstones. So anyway, so that's something that I have a passion for still. And that ties into my love of crystals now. But anyways, I have a random collection of Ethiopian opal. So now it's not so random now because it's part of my crystal grid um, for extraterrestrial protection. So I'll go over that with you guys. And I think those are the only stones that I want to kind of separately point out to you. A lot of times, jasper is a very, very good stone to have around for extraterrestrial protection. All jasper repels draconians. Yellow jasper repels cyborgs. Yes. Metatron has brought to my attention Bumblebee Jasper. And so that's actually the one that he wanted me to use on my grid to protect against cyborg activity. And so that would protect against cyborgs and draconians, but not reptilians. Is that right? That's right. Okay. So let me show you my grids. Let's take a look. All right. So this is my personal crystal grid that I currently use to protect against any and all demonic activity. So let me tell you what's on here. So I have in the center, I have a sphere that is not something I mentioned earlier. It's Garnierite. This is a crystal that is native to the Blueprinter planet. I just found out it's an exceptional stone for protection for anything of a demonic or low vibrational nature. So I have a nice big sphere of it on here. And outside of that, I have turquoise. So turquoise is traditionally another very famous stone that's used for protection, that's used in amulets, is used to repel um, curses and bad energy that is being sent to someone. I said bad energy, I should say low vibrational energy. So that is on here. I have the Staurolite or fairy cross that we talked about. I have black tourmaline that we talked about. This is in the Merkaba shape, which is the eight pointed star, but no one calls it that. Everyone calls it Merkaba or Merkaba. And so I have these on here. So these are highly, highly powerful because of the shape, because of the kind of stone it is. And if you notice, I have it evenly dispersed around this grid. I have different quartz crystal shapes that are magical on here. I have quartz points that have titanium inclusions, which kind of look like a wispy, foggy, bluish gray color. So these are very, very special quartz points. So I've used these on here as well. So that's what I have on here. This is what's working for me right now. I Up until recently, I didn't have this guy on here. So Metatron from time to time will have me add something. So this is what it looks like right now. So let me tell you what this will do for you, because I know you guys are looking at this crystal grid. This has, let me actually just spray it first before I tell you what it's going to do for you. So I'm using Amanda Ellis's Archangel Metatron Spiritual Protection Spray, Shielding Light. I'm sorry, I know I just gave that to you upside down. I need to remember what angle my camera is at. So let's spray this guy. And this is a great spray. Before I had things in place that were more effective, it's a great spray if you just want to spray yourself before you're going into a situation that's kind of iffy, you know. Go. So I know that's kind of a vague description, but it's great for temporary spiritual protection. It's not going to last you endlessly, but it's good temporary stuff. So I'm just activating this grid with it. This grid is being activated with all the power from Metatron, all the archangels, and all my guides. It's in full effect right now. So this crystal grid, as you look at it right now, it will remove any demons from outside of your body. It will remove any demons that are inside of your body, your physical body or your energetic body. It will close any demonic portals that are in your home. It will close and remove any demonic portals that are in your body. Nobody talks about that. It's possible. This is also going to seek out any demonic residue or any demonic entities that are in any portion of your house. So, not just in this air space of your house, but in the objects of your house or in the ground, in the soil, in the earth beneath your home. So, let's make sure we pull out all of those. And so, when you look at this, you might feel things. You might feel things moving around. You might feel uncomfortable. You might feel a little sick or a little nauseous or a little something. You might cough. Depends on where these demons are located in your body, if they are located in your body. Some people might just notice that they're no longer in a bad mood or they no longer feel angry or frustrated. It's really typical side effect of having these types of things removed. So this is not the same as getting a home clearing. If you have low vibrational energy at your home, please reach out to me so that I can resolve that for you on my website, orangelightenergy.com. But this is the best I can offer you for free without having you have to purchase these crystals yourself and set this up and whatnot. So it's nice to have something that you can always look at to clear everything. So here it is. So this one is done. I'm now going to show you the one we have for extraterrestrials. Take a look. Okay. So now we have my personal grid that I use for extraterrestrial protection. So this one is on a fantastic grid that is a galactic portal, which is exceptionally perfect for the usage that we have here. Center stone is a smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is known to be a protective stone. Anytime you get a darker color, it's protective. This one's a very light smoky quartz, but it's a 12-pointed star, so this is just as magical as they come. So that quartz in it makes it an amplifier, so it's perfect for the center. It's amplifying out to different colored points here. I have um, tangerine quartz points, which are effective against cyborgs. And I have these Prasiolite points, which are like a light green color. They're also called green amethyst. So we have these on here. These are also a stone that is native to the Blueprinter planet and used extensively in galactic protection type situations. I have the Lapis lazuli 20-point stars that I showed you earlier. These little tiny things right here are I know you can't really see them. They're my Ethiopian opals that I talked to you about. So those are protective against all three groups, as are the lapis lazulis. I have Bumblebee Jasper that Metatron wanted me to add, and those are for draconians and cyborgs. And then in the corners here, the four corners, I have different shapes, a cube, um, different shapes, Merkaba, but these are Merlinite, mystic Merlinite, mystical Merlinite. Um, Indigo Gabbro is another name for it. So this is the stone that is associated extensively with Merlin. It's a very magical stone, perfect for this grid to bring in his energy on it. So I'm activating this with the same spray that I used on the last grid. So we're going to do spiritual protection, shielding light. And because of the type of protections we're asking for, I'm also going to be using the Galactic Federation Platinum Ray Commander Ashtar spray, both of these from Amanda Ellis. So this is going to protect against psychic attacks. These are normally felt as pressure or dizziness in the head region. So you'll feel it in your crown chakra, you'll feel it in your third eye. It might feel like a headache, it might just feel like pressure or dizziness. That's how they typically enter into the body, although they can enter in just about any way. Um, so this is going to protect your energy body and your physical body from them entering you. This is also going to close and remove any portals that they may place inside your energetic body, which is again a thing that nobody talks about, but it unfortunately is a real thing. So, closing and removing any portals that are of an extraterrestrial nature that are not to your highest benefit, since some extraterrestrials are to your highest benefit, and also removing any extraterrestrial activity, portals, or implants from your body that are not in your highest and best interests. So, some of us, most of us, a lot of us, have extraterrestrial implants that are to our benefit. That's strange to say, but completely true. I lost count of how many I have. It was something that Mags, my guide, was putting into me early on to improve my ability to communicate with them. So she would put in different little things in my head, and I would kind of laugh because I would tell her, "Oh my gosh, you are an alien and you are putting an implant in me. Should I be worried?" Because everything in you is thinking, this is probably not a good idea. And she kind of laughed at me, but her implants were because what Metatron was having her do to me to tune up my body so that I could communicate with them. So that's different. If you have an implant that's benefiting you, we want to leave that in place. This is only to remove implants that are intended to keep you in a low vibration or any kind of mind control or anything that's impeding upon your freedom, your free will, your freedom and your free will. Those are exactly what we're talking about. So you only need to look at this for a couple seconds. If you've been watching it while I've been talking, that's sufficient. You might feel things exit your body. You might not. Depends on how sensitive you are. And not everyone has these attacking them or in their body or whatnot. But if you do, there's a good chance you'll feel it leave. So this is again just something I wanted to provide as a free service to everyone. You can When you're looking at this, you can ask that this be pushed out to other people. So you can ask for this, energy to come to your home, to your body, to your family members, to your pets, to your extended family, to your workplace, and to your car, anywhere you want to move this to. The power is already put in place right here. You can use your intent and ask one of your guides to work with you to move this power however you need to. So you can ask Metatron or Merlin or any guide of yours to enact this power, to put this power in place to protect you or different people in different locations. So be creative with it. It's here for you to use. It's highly effective. And the next time something happens where I need to update this grid, I'll make a new video so that you can benefit from that new grid as well. So until next time, everyone, see you later.